So, back in another hotel room. For those who care, I am in a city called Wenatchee, or actually, I'm sorry, I'm in East Wenatchee. Most people probably don't know where Wenatchee is. That's the big city. East Wenatchee is kind of a little add-on city. It's pretty close. There's a bridge that connects the two of them. I'm staying at the Marriott in East Wenatchee right now. So, for those who are curious where I am. So, this one is going to be about another topic that I have a fairly strong opinion of. So what we're talking about on this one is bottlenecking. Now, I think bottlenecking is basically a stupid thing. The way people talk about it. There's certainly a place for talking about is your CPU underpowered compared to your GPU. But here's the thing. Most people that actually talk about bottlenecking, at least in my experience, from what I see, when the discussion actually comes up on big YouTube channels, on Reddit threads, things like that, my experience tends to be the people that make a big deal about it are kind of obsessed about it. And my take on the matter is this. Get the fastest GPU you can afford and the fastest CPU you can afford. Okay? You know, because the thing is, there will always be a faster CPU that you compare with your GPU or a faster GPU that you compare with your CPU. Like, that's like tale as old as time, okay? So talking about bottlenecking, I mean, you're going to bottleneck something. That's the bottom line. I would be willing to bet. So to give you a great example, my 99, or I'm sorry, yeah. So I originally bought a i9 9900K that I paired with my GTX 1080 Ti, right? And then I eventually moved the 9900K over to being paired with a 3080. Well, it turned out that it is true that I was bottlenecking the 3080, bottlenecking it, but I didn't have money for a faster chip, and I got a good deal on the GPU. Okay, so later, I upgraded to a 4090, and that's when I realized I had this issue going on. And so at that point, I upgraded to a 12700 or a 12900K. Now, the thing is, there are now faster CPUs, and I guarantee you that there is performance to be unlocked on the 4090 with a faster CPU. But effectively, a faster CPU was not available within reason. I mean, there was the 13900K, 14900K, 7800X3D, yeah, a few different chips, and they were all within, pretty close, almost margin of error of each other. Now, when I took my old 3080 and paired it with the 13900K, it also gave substantially higher performance. However, and same thing with my 1080 Ti. In fact, I would tell most people who say, "Hey, I want to upgrade. What GPU should I buy? I've got a 1080 Ti right now." I would normally, if I look at those builds and I say, well, you've got that 1080 Ti paired with a 9900K. I would tell them, go buy a 12700K and a board, chip, and RAM combo based on that, and pair it with that first, because that 1080 Ti is going to be a whole different card. You'd be blown away, most people. So all I'm getting at here is that there's always a faster part. So to obsess over bottlenecking and say, oh, if I buy this CPU, it's going to bottleneck my GPU. If I buy this GPU, it's going to bottleneck my CPU. It's a dumb argument within a certain level of reason. I mean, look, if you don't know, it's not really even a big bottleneck discussion. There's some common sense. If you don't know that, I don't know, what's an example? If you don't know that a 9900K is going to bottleneck your 4090, if you don't, or what, the one that I see often, 8700K paired with a 3080. Okay, if you don't see that a 3080 is going to be bottlenecked buy an 8700K, like, there's a bigger discussion to be had with you than, well, am I a bottleneck? Are you a bottleneck? Am I bottlenecking my GPU? You need to go do some fundamental basic research on parts. I think that the obsession over bottlenecking that most people have is just pointless because, again, there's always faster parts. You can always buy, at least, even if you have the fastest parts today, there's going to be faster parts tomorrow. So buy the fastest GPU that you can buy today. Buy the fastest CPU you can buy today. Pay attention to release cycles. And if you're 3/4, 4/5 of the way through the current product cycle, maybe wait until the new products come out and then buy the fastest CPU and GPU you can afford. Anyway, it's kind of hard for me to explain that one. Like, I'm arguing that the bottleneck does matter, but I'm also arguing that it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, don't obsess over it. That's all. Anyway, thanks for watching the video.